Shalom.
Shalom.
All praises and glory belong to
YAHAWAH, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Mekakadash.
Double honors unto the elders and to the apostles of great and stone. Alright, and salutations, to the open elect. Alright, the men that are in the four corners of the highways and byways, prophesying the downfall of America. Alright, pushing this word out in truth and in sincerity. Again, this is GMS Guyana, week in and week out, prophesying the downfall of America and telling these other nations, what the judgment is. Alright, I'm preaching this good news unto Israel. Alright? Right? So we're gonna get into Isaiah chapter 63, but before we do so, we just get a couple of verses on Isaiah 61. You start with 1.
Alright, this is Isaiah 61 and verse 1. It says, "The Spirit of Yahweh power is upon me, because Yahweh had anointed me to preach the good tidings unto the meek."
Yeah, God, and this is referring to who? Yahushai. Alright, that spirit, rested upon Yahushai to preach that good tidings. However, we're in the same spirit to Yahushai. Alright, and that spirit is upon us. Now we are to preach that good tidings, unto the meek. Alright, and the meek is referring to who? The nation of Israel, but starting chiefly with the elect. Alright, but
alright, Isaiah 61 and 1. "The Spirit of Yahweh is upon me, because he had anointed me to preach the good tidings unto the meek. He had sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captive, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound."
Yeah, we are the captives. Alright? We are the ones that are bound. The scripture tell you in where's that? Zechariah, I believe, or Zephaniah, it tell you what? That our enemies, that our enemies basically, have us in captivity right now, and they refuse to let us go. Roughly paraphrasing. Hey, we still here. You understand? We still subject to the other nations. Chiefly Esau Edom. Alright, we still here paying taxes. Alright, which that go back to what? Tributes. Alright, really and truly that's what it's about. But the Roman Empire, they were the ones that really, branded to what? To be taxes. Alright? And making that mainstream taxation that we see here today. That all stem from Rome. You see? Yeah, let me see. Yeah, go to verse 2.
Verse 2. "To proclaim," Isaiah 61 and 2. It says, "To proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh power, and the day of vengeance of our power, to perform all that mourn."
Yeah, you see?
To comfort all that mourn.
Yeah, it said to comfort all that mourn. Alright, because understand that our deliverance, alright, is the destruction of Esau Edom, or is the fall of Esau Edom. There's a balance to it. Alright, and that's why we're looking forward to that day. Why? Because not only that we're going to be delivered, but we're going to see, the fall of our enemies.
That's right.
Alright, we're going to see the mourning of our enemies. Somebody could get in Psalms 91. Alright, Psalms chapter 91. And let me see. Yeah, Psalms 91 and verse. Yeah, verse 8.
Psalms 91 and verse 8. Verse 7. It says, "1,000 shall fall at the side, and 10,000 at the right hand, but it shall not come near thee. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked."
Exactly, alright, because once we continue to live in this word and in this truth, hey, we're gonna see the reward of our enemies. We're gonna see our enemies perish. We're gonna see our enemies fall. You understand? That's something that we're looking forward to. The scripture tell you what, that the Most High ain't gonna allow our enemies to continue to make us what? A laughing stock.
That's right.
Alright? Because right now, hey, we basically look at the looked at as the scum of the earth. You know? The reproach is heavy upon us. Which they even go straight back to the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. You know? But before, just give me Psalms 55 and verse 21, I believe. No. Let's see, the Most High gonna basically, you know, set us in order before His eyes. All right. These things, you know, because basically what's happening right now, and if Aki could look for the precept, set in order, because what's happening right now, hey, we're being set in order, you know, or we've received this word, we've received this truth, hey, and we laboring 15:21, not 55. Go ahead.
God, this is Psalm 15:21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself.
Yeah, because for so long he saw Edom been what in the power seat. You know, his pride has deceived him. You know, to the point where he think that he and the Mosai is in some sort of league. Alright? That he on the level of the Mosai. Right? So much so that in the book of Thessalonians he said what? Hey, I gonna set myself up to be a god. You see?
Go ahead. Right? Psalm 15:21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such and one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
Yeah, he said what? That he reproved Esau Edom and said, oh, Israel in order before his eyes. You understand? And that's something that's grieving Esau Edom right now. Right? Give me Sirach chapter 13 and 1. Because that's grieving him right now. You know, Esau mad that we have received this word. Alright? He's hungry. You see? Okay. So, Sirach 13. Right? Because we get this word back. You know, we're no longer in that docile state. We're no longer seeing this man as some superior being. And by we, I'm referring to hopefully elect, those that have awakened from that deep sleep. Alright? You know, because the majority of Israel, they're still in that state. They still don't see this man for who he is, which is a liar, a deceiver, you know, a murderer. Alright? And the list goes on. Alright, go ahead.
Sirach 30 and verse 1. He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the wrath, that he may have joy of him in the end.
Go ahead.
He that chastiseth his son shall have joy of him, and shall rejoice of him amongst his acquaintance.
Yeah, you know, and this going into what? Not only how you have to deal with your children, but hey, the Most High deal with us the same way, right? You see, we have been chastised. Why? Because the Most High love us. All right, and the Most High having what? Joy of us. Why? Because we out here doing His will. You know, we pushing this word out in truth and in sincerity. All right, go ahead.
It says, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Yeah, and the Most High what? Through the apostles, all right, through his prophets, starting with who? Ahbad Babal, all right, coming on down to King Masahch, High Priest Ahyawab, Apostle Tahar, coming on down today. Hey, the Most High has been teaching his sons, teaching his children, all right, and that is grieving the enemy. Esau Edom is being grieved right now. You see? Go ahead.
Okay. And before his friends, he shall rejoice of him.
Yeah. All right. And before his friends, you know, you can basically rejoice of your children. You know why? Because they're following in your footsteps. They're in order. They're doing what's right. You see? But those it and up. Yeah. Yeah, read verse 3.
Right, Isaiah 61:3. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning.
Yeah, because right now we mourning. Alright? We mourning right now. Scripture tell you what? In Ezekiel, somebody could get the Ezekiel 9 and verse 4, that the prophets, you know, them that don't receive that mark of exemption of judgment, hey, they're gonna be out in the streets sighing and crying. You know, they're gonna be mourning. Alright? Hold on. Second Ezra 9 of
Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4. And Yahweh said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Right. And now they're going back to what the prophets sighed and cried. Right? But not only are we sighing and crying for the abomination, but we also mourning for the oppression that we're experiencing right now. The oppression that we under. You know? Because, hey, the literal scum of the heart, you know, the basis of men, which is Esau Edom, is above us, ruling over us. Alright? We had to go and work for this man. This man is supposed to be our slave. You know, and in the time to come, he will fulfill that office. Alright? Because the scripture says in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9, it says, He that had an ear, let him hear. You know, they that lead into captivity must go into captivity. And having the white man led us into captivity, the answer is yes. Right? So according to the scripture, hey, he's going to go back into captivity. You see?
Reward them double.
Yeah, reward them double. So his captivity is going to be worse than the worst of what he had done unto the nation of Israel. Yeah. Slack. Read back. Let me read it back. Isaiah 61 and verse 3. It says, To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning. Right? Because we mourning right now again. You see? Yeah, go ahead and read it from
Second Ezra chapter 2 and 27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
Yeah, it said what? Because now in Isaiah 61, you know what it talk about? To give to them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning. Hey, this going into what? The kingdom. Alright? Because we're going to be in that perfect state. But on this side, alright, before we enter into that kingdom, this is going to happen. Right? We're going to experience this. That's spoken of in 2 Ezra chapter 2. Alright? Read it.
2 Ezra 2 and 27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
Exactly, we're going to be merry and have abundance. You know, when 2/3 of our nation, alright, wailing and mourning, you know, because of what? Famine, because of martial law, alright, because of the nuclear destruction. Hey, we're going to be happy. We're going to have. You know, we ain't going to lack in that time. But for this present time, what? We mourning. Alright? We mourning. Why? Because we don't conform to this wicked and oppressive society. we don't accept the doctrine that they teach it. We don't accept the philosophies that they push it. You know?
This is Job chapter 5 and verse 22.
Yep.
It says, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh.
Yeah, God. Alright? Because these things are not going to be sent, you know, as a punishment unto the righteous.
That's right.
They're going to be sent for who? The wicked. Alright? They're going to be sent for the wicked. And you 2/3, you gotta get on 2/3, because they not only this word is for them, but hey, they come against us as enemies. You know? So at destruction and at famine, we gonna laugh. Why? Because the Most High gonna be with us. Alright, the Most High gonna bring us through that fire. You know? What?
It says, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth.
Yeah, can't, because hey, right now, the Most High, you know, putting that dread spirit, you know, upon these literal beasts. Alright? These different animals. Yeah, even, you know, even animals that Esau Edom haven't discovered. You know, say, hey, you know, they know about this animal. They're still discovering animals. Oh, they found some snake that is 10 times more poisonous than the python. You know, these different things. That's what you see happening. You know, so we ain't gonna be afraid of these beasts. The scripture tell you, I believe this Isaiah 66 or 65. It say, hey, well, we're gonna be in league with these beasts.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right there going on, sir.
Yeah. Right.
It says, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee.
Yeah, it said the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. You know? Because that dread that the Most High put upon us from the beginning, hey, the Most High is going to restore it. You understand? That dominion that we had over the earth, over all the fowls of the air, you know, the fish of the sea, all right? The thing that creep upon the earth, hey, that same dominion and that dread is going to be restored upon us once again. All right? So right now, when we're being afraid of a lion, in the time to come, the lion's going to be afraid of us. You know, they're going to understand that we have the power over them. You see? But not like right now where everything is upside down. All right? Yes, someone up?
Is it there?
Done.
And 2nd Ezra 2 and verse 27. Be not weary for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Verse 28. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee.
Yeah, it
Yahawah.
said the Eden shall envy thee. Alright? So starting with the Esau Edom, hey, they're going to envy us. Alright? They're going to envy us. Why? Because, hey, no matter what they try, they won't be able to do anything against us. Alright? Where they're pushing this MOTB to be what? Mandatory? Locking us off from what? Food and water? Or whatever it is. Alright? They still ain't going to be able to do anything against us. You know, martial law, the Most High going to give us what? Spiritual power. Alright? That we could escape these different destructions. You see? And they're going to drive Esau Edom wild. You're going to be crazy like, who's these men? But you need to understand that what? Is the prophet of the prophets of Yahawah Banyamyan.
Also going into the kingdom too.
Yeah.
Because no nation is going to be able to rise up against Israel.
Yep.
Alright? You know, they're going to see us, you know. They tell you what is one in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, when it talks about a day that despises and treats us so lowly, that when they see that he's risen to when they see that the Israel, Yasharahla is being brought back, they're going to envy us. Right?
Is it? Yeah, well, those it to know.
Isaiah 63. Right. Isaiah 61:3. To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Yahawah, that they might be glorified.
Yeah, why? You know, because we're going to be restored again. All right, somebody could get what's the Isaiah 1 and 26. Right?
Isaiah 1 and verse 26. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city.
Yeah, because right now, well, we ain't in that state. You understand? They're still mocking at us. In Lamentations, they tell you what, that they look upon us and say, hey, is this the city? Is this the people? Right? But what's going to happen is that the Most High is going to set us in order. All right? The judge is referring to who the elect. All right? They're going to get back that status. All right? That power, that glory. You know? The Lord's will that each one of us here going to be a part of that number, or is a part of that number.
Right.
See?
Isaiah 61:4. And there shall be there shall rise up the former desolation, and there shall repair the waste cities, the desolation of many generations.
Exactly. All right? That waste city. You know? Because, hey, look at what's happening right now. The northern and the southern kingdom is what come back together. All right? There's no longer a split between the kingdoms. You see? The walls of this city is being built up, referring to who? The elect. You know? Because each one of us referring to a stone. All right? Being put together, being pieced together for this city. The city is referring to who? The elect.
This also going into the kingdom too. Because these heathen nations, they're going to build up the kingdom. All right? They're going to build the kingdom up. All right? They're going to become servants to us, or slaves, according to the scripture. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
Going back to the heathens, not going to be able to do nothing against us, you know, in that day. Right? This is Psalms chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, why does the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Right? And the vain thing that they imagine is what? That they're going to be able to rule over us forever. Right? This vain, that can't happen. Right? It says, it says, the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bonds asunder and cast away the core of us. Verse 4, it says, he that sitteth in heaven shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. Because everything you see that Esau them doing and these nations doing so to oppress us, to keep us down, the Most High sitteth in his seat and walk and laugh at it. Right? Verse 5, it says, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in their sore displeasure. Right? It says, yes, yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. Right? Talking about two, Yahushai. Right? Most I set up Yahushai as we king. You know, followed by who? King David. Right? Going down to the point, it says, I will declare a decree, said the Lord unto me, thou shalt be a son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathens for an inheritance, and the uttermost part of the earth for a possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt bash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. So in the kingdom, they can be what slaves to us. As the brothers getting into, they can help build back the kingdom, right? And the elites of these nations, their first job can be to bury the dead, to clean up this place, because you got a lot of dead bodies all over this place. But you hear it talk.
We shall also going into the most building up force, building up the elect force. All right. That's Amos 9 and verse 11. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Yeah, and they're referring to the elect. Understand? There's the tabernacle of David. Right? Now, somebody could get, just to further show, that that city is referring to the people, right? Somebody could get Isaiah 62 and from verse 11.
Isaiah 62 and verse 11. Behold, Yahweh hath proclaimed unto the end of the world, say you to the daughters of Zion, behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. And they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of the Lord.
They said, they shall call them the holy people, the redeemed of the Lord. Right? And who is the holy people? Israel. Israel is the Most High's elect.
Right.
All right. The word holy go back to us separate. Separate. All right. And we are what? The separate people unto the Most High. Right. That's why the Lord tell us straight up. Look, when you go to these different places, hey, don't do as these heathens do. Don't take up their customs. Don't do as they culture. All right.
And thou shalt be called sought out, a city not forsaken.
Yeah, it says thou shalt be called sought out, a city not forsaken.
That's right.
Right? Because again, it's what? A people before a place.
That's right.
Alright? Now, we are the holy city. The holy tabernacle. Alright? God. Goes in. Give me out verse 5.
It's Isaiah 61 and 5. And strangers shall stand and feed your flock, and the sons of the aliens shall be your plowmen.
Exactly. Alright, so now we're telling you straight up. And the strangers here, alright, are referring to who? The Edens. Alright? It says, and the strangers shall feed your flocks. Meaning what? They're going to be our servants. Alright?
That's right.
They're going to be our servants. All the other right? Because there's what? There's 80 nations upon the face of the earth. Alright? Now besides the nation of Israel, there's 17 other.
That's right.
This 17 gonna serve Israel. Alright? In the time to come. We're gonna have slaves of who? Esau, Edom, of Elam, of Moab,
That's right.
of Ammon. Alright? All these other Amite nations, they're gonna be our slaves as well.
That's right.
The Ethiopians, they like to say that, hey, they've never been conquered, which we all know that is lies. But you're going to be conquered again by the nation of Israel.
That's right.
All right? Starting with Yahawashi.
That's right.
God. Before you get the, somebody give me Revelations 13 and 9. Because we quoted earlier.
Revelation 13 and 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Yeah, he said what? That any man that leadeth into captivity must go into captivity. Hey, and we was led into captivity by all the other nations, by all the other 17 nations. They led us into captivity. All right? Yeah, correct. So what? They're going to go into captivity. And they're going to go into captivity under the hand of Yahawashi, our Lord. See? Word?
That's Obadiah chapter 1 and 50. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathens. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Yeah.
Thy reward shall return upon thy own head.
Yeah, you know? Because the scripture tell you what? That the Most High judgeth a man according to his works.
Okay.
So where is it that these nations have sown? They have sown oppression. Alright? They have sown dominance. You know? So it's only right that they be in oppression, alright, and they be dominated. Alright? Under who? Again, Israel. You see? Let me feel anything.
And this is our first Maccabees chapter. Right. 2 and 10. It says, what nation had not a part in our kingdom and gotten of our spoil?
Yeah, so what nation had not a part in our kingdom? Because when you go into the history, it show you how what? Moab had us under slavery. Ammon had us under slavery. Moab referring to the Chinese. Ammon referring to the Japanese. Alright, it show you that Esau Edom had us under captivity. The Canaanites had us in captivity. Each and every Elam, the Persians had us in captivity. You know, the Babylonians, so on and so forth. So, go ahead, read it back.
Right here. First Maccabees 2 and 10. What nation had not had a part in our kingdom and gotten of our spoils?
Gotten of our spoils. You know, not only referring to what? The golden vessels, alright, and these different things, but the literal people themselves. Alright? They took us for spoils. To what? To serve in the courts, to serve in the land, whatever it is, as slaves. See? Go ahead.
First Maccabees 2 and 11, it says, all her ornaments are taken away. Of a free woman, she's become a born slave.
Yeah, again, that's referring to the literal ornaments, but also the people again. Because the scripture tell you what, that we are, clay. All right, we are utensils. You know, we are shaped by the potter. You understand? So that's referring to us. See? Go ahead.
Right, verse 12. It says, and behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it.
Yeah, it said even the Gentiles have profaned our sanctuary and our glory. Hey, what King Antiochus did? He went into the sanctuary, you know, and was offering up swine's flesh and all these abominable things. You know, these are the things that we went through.
More than for my aunt.
Yeah.
You know, they put to death our young men. You know, they ravish our women. All right, they killed the prophets. They showed no mercy towards the children of Israel. All right. Okay.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, let us bring this up. Yeah.
2 Ezra 5 and verse 28. And now, O Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai. 2 Ezra 5 and verse 27. And amongst all the multitude of people, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou givest a law that is approved of all. And now, O Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushai, why hast thou given this one people over unto many?
Yeah, so why art thou giving this people over unto many? Alright? Because that's the only way that these nations could have taken us into captivity. You know? By us being given unto them because of our disobedience. know, that's how the Most High what gave us unto these nations. Alright? Go ahead.
And upon the one root hast thou prepared others.
They say upon the one root, referring to Israel, had thou prepared others. These other nations, their kingdoms were built up because of Israel.
Right.
Alright? They look around. Look around. What happened in Egypt? Who built the pyramids? Alright? Who designed all these different things? Look at what's happened not only in America, but across the globe. You know? On the backs of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and natives, what was this world built, basically? You see?
And why hast thou scattered thy only one people amongst many?
Yeah, you know? And look around. Which nation and people can you find throughout the four corners of the globe? Suffering. Now, yeah, suffering. Yeah. Is who? Jakes again. Alright? Calling themselves all sort of bullshit. Believing that they are Chinese, Japanese, whatever. You know? Guyanese, Bajan, Trinidadian, so on and so forth. The scattered people. Right?
The scripture says you shall leave your name for us. Alright? We no longer recognize as being what people of Yahawah Yasharahla called after the Most High name. But guess what? The elect is being called after the Most High name again in the earth. Alright? Because the scripture tell you now, Baruch chapter 2, that they shall, you got it? Baruch chapter 2, and verse 30. For I know that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am Yahweh their power. For I will give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. It is the most simple the number of the elected people. Alright, because though we are placed in the captivity, Baruch 4 and verse 6, they were sold to the nations not for your destruction, not to put an end to us completely, but because we moved the power to wrath, moved Yahweh to wrath, they were delivered unto the enemy. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not unto Yahweh. And I tell you in Deuteronomy 28, because you servest not the Lord with gladness, therefore all these curses shall come upon you. Alright?
Yeah. This is Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 16. It says, wherefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
That's right.
And it says, and all thine adversary, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they shall, it says, and they shall be spoiled. They shall be spoiled, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Right? And there's them going into captivity as you're breaking down, right?
That's right.
I got next one. It says Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1. It says, for the Lord will have mercy upon Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land.
Yeah, because right now, hey, we suffering. Alright? We experiencing hardship beyond anything else. You know? But the Most High gonna show us mercy. Because what we going through right now is just for a period. It ain't gonna be forever. You see? But
it says, and set them in their own land. It says, and the stranger shall be joined unto them, and cleave unto the house of Judah.
you see, because that stranger there is referring to who? The Gentiles.
Israelite foreigners.
Yeah, the Israelite foreigners. Alright? That don't know who they are. Right? Because now we learning who we are. You see? So, and even in the word cleave, it means what? To become one.
Can.
Alright? Now the scripture do tell us what? Not to be unequally yoked. You know? So, and the scripture even saying in Psalms, you know, what pleasure at like the darkness. You know, just roughly paraphrasing. Alright? Because what? Israel is about light. And these other nations, especially Esau Edom, is about darkness. So that Gentiles could never be referring to who? The other nations.
Not Gentiles, strangers.
Strangers. It's not referring to the other nations. It's referring to Israel.
As you read down now, it can tell you. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them in their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. Servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Exactly.
Right? And as you read just now, every nation had a part in oppressing Israel. Right? So when the two nations come together and the Most High set them back in the land, they're gonna oppress those who used to oppress them. And there's righteousness.
Scripture tell you that in Testimonials 1 and 6.
Joel chapter 3 and verse 1. Say, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
And the word Jehoshaphat will go back to what? Yahweh Shabbat, which means the Most High judgment, or Yahweh judgment. Alright?